Welcome back. Now to the other big story. Russian President Vladimir Putin is warning he will use all the power and all the means at his disposal to defend the Ukrainian territory Russia has illegally taken. On Friday, Putin said the United States created a precedent for using nuclear weapons by using them in World War II. And just hours after Putin's speech, Ukrainian President Zelensky responded by announcing his country was submitting a fast-track application to join NATO. NATO Secretary General called Putin's land grab the largest attempted annexation of European territory by force since the Second World War. And NATO is warning it will retaliate for any attacks on the critical infrastructure of its 30 member countries. That statement follows the massive explosion which produced leaks in the Nordstream pipelines between Russia and Germany. President Biden echoed that warning himself on Friday.
America is fully prepared with our NATO allies to defend every single inch of NATO territory. Every single inch. So, Mr. Putin, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Every inch.
And NATO's Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg joins me now. Mr. Secretary, welcome back to Meet the Press. Let me start with...
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, let me start with the president's comments. Every inch, I'll use internationally, any meter. Does the Nord Stream pipeline, if that is a Russian attack, does that count as an attack on a NATO nation? Does that count as an attack on a NATO nation?
Let me first express my condolences to all those affected by the hurricane that has created so much damage in the United States over the last days. Then on the pipelines, also what we have seen is a very serious situation where 2 pipelines has been damaged. All evidence points against that this is sabotage deliberately done by someone against these pipelines. What is important now is that we support the ongoing investigation so we get the best possible picture of what happened and are able to establish all the facts. Any deliberate attack on critical NATO infrastructure will be met with a firm and united response from NATO.
Are you concerned? Do you think Vladimir Putin is trying to coax NATO into this conflict?
He has tried again and again to tell a story that NATO is party to the conflict and that NATO caused this conflict. That's absolutely wrong. First of all, this is a war that President Putin has started. It's a war by his choice. Second, NATO is not part to this conflict. What we do is that we provide support to Ukraine, an independent sovereign nation in Europe that has the right to defend itself against the war of aggression. And this is a right actually enshrined in the UN Charter, and therefore we will continue to provide support to Ukraine to defend themselves.
What's your level of concern about the nuclear threat right now?
The rhetoric by President Putin, the nuclear rhetoric, is dangerous. It's reckless, but it's actually something we have heard several times before. But that doesn't change the fact that this is dangerous. That's also the reason why we have so clearly conveyed to President Putin that any use of nuclear weapons will have severe consequences for Russia. It will, of course, totally change the nature of the conflict. And we have also made it clear that a nuclear war can not be won and must never be fought. And this is a message that NATO and NATO allies convey clearly to Russia.
You said something on Friday that got our attention. You said this. You said inaction is a great risk because that will create a world where Putin will see that with impunity he can use military force, invade the neighbor, and then establish a sphere of influence. And this is your reaction to his annexation here on this. Inaction, what is your fear? That is the NATO alliance not going to respond to this illegal annexation? And should the NATO alliance respond to it?
The best way to respond is to do exactly what we do now, and not least the United States, demonstrating leadership in providing support to Ukraine. And we will continue to support Ukraine with military equipment, economic, financial support. And I welcome the just recent announcement by President Biden of further U.S. support. Over the weekend, we also have new announcements from Germany, from France, Denmark, Norway, the Slovak Republic, and many others. So allies are stepping up their support to Ukraine, and that's the best way to ensure that these territories, they are part of Ukraine, and that Ukraine is actually able to liberate and retake occupied territory. And over this weekend again, we have seen that they have been able to take a new town, Lyman, and that demonstrates that the Ukrainians are making progress, are able to push back the Russian forces because of their courage, because of their bravery, their skills, but of course also because of the advanced weapons that the United States and other allies are providing. And this is making a difference on the battlefield every day.
Ukraine's NATO application, they fast-tracked it. Will NATO fast-track Ukraine into the alliance?
So NATO has an open door policy, and every nation, including, of course, also Ukraine, has the right to choose its own path, including what kind of security arrangements it wants to be a part of. At the same time, any decision on membership has to be taken by consensus. All 30 allies have to agree to make such a decision. And the main focus, the top priority now among NATO allies and partners is to support Ukraine. They need more support. They need continued support, and that's the message I conveyed to President Zelensky when I spoke to him a few days ago, and that's the message from NATO leaders, and again, not least from the United States, which really makes a difference and matters when we see the war going on in Ukraine.
Jens Stoltenberg, the Secretary General of the NATO Alliance, appreciate you coming on and sharing the NATO perspective with us.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.